Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the US Weather Plus 2013 fall forecast, and this will include both the forecasts and views of three long-range models, and not two long-range models, and one of them will be a forecast from the Climate Prediction Center. The third thing. So we're first going to go through the Jamstack, and this is the temperature forecast for September through November. And I'm not sure exactly what the Jamstack is doing. It seems to be pointing out a trough in the west and a ridge in the east here with some high pressure over the central US, like the scenario is right now. Like this, something like a pattern like this, or even like this, so a ridge over the whole eastern US, and that doesn't look good for the fall. And I'm pretty much not agreeing with that, but because the Jamstack has been known to not to do wrong forecasts, but the Jamstack is also the model that nailed last winter. But I'm not, in my opinion, this doesn't seem to be quite correct. But we'll see. I'm thinking the pattern should be more like this for the fall, not like this. I think possibly the south will still be in a ridge, but the northeast, this area should be in below average temperatures. In terms of precipitation, the Jamstack is showing a wet fall for many in the east, and I agree with this. I agree with this a lot. It shows all of this above average precipitation in the east, and falls. The autumn is known for to be dry for the east often, but in this case, factors are continuing to point out that it'll be maybe not as wet as the summer, but it still could be wet. So we'll see about that. But I agree with this, and I think it could be a little more dry in the west. But at least the drought will not progress. It will stay the same, I think, but I'm not thinking there will be a drought here in Washington. California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, that's the areas where there could be still some dry conditions, but the drought should not be getting worse anywhere. Probably will be slowly improving the conditions. Now, here's a sea surface temperature anomaly. Quick look here. And what we have here is actually a weak La Nina here, very weak, and a block here, and the Jamstack seems to be contradicting itself, because here it shows the Aleutian block and Greenland block up there. You see those warm temperatures, which means there should be a trough here in the east, but it's showing these warm temperatures in the east, so it's kind of contradicting itself. But on the other hand, if there is a La Nina here, then there will be warm conditions, but it's just about neutral currently, just like a very, like I'm thinking maybe minus 0.2 or 0.3, something like that. And I think it will remain that way through the fall and even through the winter. But the winter is a separate story, and we'll have a video out about that on Friday. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go to the CFS monthly anomalous for temperatures, and we're gonna see what this model shows us. This changes often. It's not a very good model, but we're still gonna look just for comparison. And here in September, here's what it shows about September. It shows a cold east and south, like I'm saying, but my forecast not exactly like this. Like I said, this area should be still pretty much warm, but more like this whole region should be cold. So I'm kind of agreeing with this, but not completely, because I am not thinking this area should be cold. But if this were to happen in the winter, then this would be a perfect scenario for snowstorms to the east. But I'm afraid this not such an not a pattern like this will set up for the winter, more like average. So this was September. Here's October, and we got some average temperatures here, but some slightly colder temperatures in the south, warm in the north, and kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not agreeing with the warmth here in the northeast. Now, here's November, and I'm still not agreeing with any warmth in the northeast, but this is pretty much what I'm thinking about with average temperatures in all these regions, slightly warm in the west, cool average in the northwest. This is what I'm expecting for the fall, but altogether, the CFS suggests slightly below average temperatures for the east and south, except for above average temperatures in the interior, northeast, and Maine, and all of the west above average. And that's pretty similar to my thoughts, but it's not a very good model, like I mentioned before. Now we're also going to go to the Climate Prediction Center and see what they say. And now this is their temperature outlook for the next 3 months, and they're expecting above average temperatures in the southwest. That's what I'm thinking. And above average temperatures in the northeast. That's what I'm not thinking. But models have been indicating that, so that might happen, and if that happens, I'll have a revised outlook later in September, but I'm still not agreeing with that. So this is just kind of a trough, like what, this says what I'm expecting actually in the winter. Like a trough over here, and slightly warmer in here. That's more of what I'm expecting in the winter, not in the. Okay, sorry for that quick break, but we're now going to go to my forecast, and we're gonna look at what I'm expecting now. This forecast will include a fall temperature forecast, a fall precipitation forecast, a second severe weather season forecast, a rest of hurricane season forecast, and then fall pattern setup forecast. And here's the US Weather Plus final fall 2013 forecast for temperatures. And as you see, there will be a pretty good block here in the west. Like over Utah and Colorado, you see these hot temperatures well above average. In the whole west above average, and even into slightly the portions of the southeast like Mississippi. But the Great Lakes in Northeast and Midwest are in slightly below average temperatures, with the coldest temperatures across the Great Lakes and interior Northeast. If this was for the winter, we could be getting some pretty nice clippers here and some northeasters possibly, but I'm thinking for the winter this will not hold. It will change somewhat for the winter. Now, here's the US Weather Plus Fall 2013 final forecast for precipitation, and here we got well below average precipitation here again in the same areas which I was pointing out will be hot, but it's not quite like I was saying for the temperatures because, well, it's not quite equal to the temperatures because we'll be having above average precipitation in the Pacific Northwest like Oregon and Seattle like Washington, and also we'll be having above average precipitation all of the east and portions of the southeast, well, all of the northeast Great Lakes, portions of the southeast down to Georgia and South Carolina. Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi will be out of the rain, but I'm still thinking like there'll be this trough here, and it'll be the jet stream going up like this, and storms will be riding over the jet stream and down here in the east. So that's why I'm thinking there could be rain. But the heaviest rain will be here in the Great Lakes and interior northeast, the same area where there will be the coldest temperatures. The blank areas will be normal, like it says here. Now here is the severe weather outlook for the fall. This is the second severe weather season. As many of you probably know, October and November and portions of September are this called second severe weather season. And for second severe weather season, there will be a slight risk of severe weather for the Pacific Northwest and interior Southwest, a moderate risk for severe weather across the Intermountain West and California, as well as all of the plains, much of the plains from Minnesota and Iowa westward, and portions of the southeast, all of this yellow area. However, we got one area of high risk. This will be in a corridor from North Dakota, Minnesota through Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky. This region, because this will be where the cold and warm will meet. We'll be having warm air streaming in from here because of all this warm air in here, and cold air streaming in from out of here. So these will be the areas for severe weather. But the northeast will be in only a moderate risk because it will be colder here. It will be the colder sector, and severe weather will not be that favorable. It's like a Midwest corridor into the upper southeast. That will be the high risk. Here is the tropical weather forecast for the rest of hurricane season, and there will be a slight rainfall impact for southeast Texas and eastern Mexico. Moderate landfall impact, medium possible, threat for eastern Texas coast and southwestern, south central Louisiana. High risk for southeast Louisiana, south Mississippi, south Alabama, extreme southwest Florida panhandle. Moderate risk for all of the Florida coast, Georgia coast, South Carolina coast, and a slight risk for North Carolina coast, Virginia coast, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, and up to Connecticut. The blank area up here, this coast does not have any threat. Most storms will be tracking the most favorable track will be like this. They'll be curving out to sea because there'll be a trough here. But some storms will make it here, and those will be the ones which will landfall. Although the bigger track would be in this direction, but all storms will probably be heading out to sea by this track. I expect 7 to 9 total main storms, 5 to 6 tropical storms and hurricanes, 1 to 2 major hurricanes, and 1 to 3 landfalls. The rest of the season. Finally, here is the fall 2013 pattern, and we'll be having a jet stream like this: a trough in the northwest, a ridge over the central U.S., and a trough in the northeast, but still warm in the southeast. High pressure will be dominating these areas and will be spreading its influence into here, but there will be low pressure in the northeast and in the northwest. That's the pattern. So that's it for the forecast. Thank you for watching the US Weather Plus Final Fall 2013 forecast. We hope you enjoyed it. Please don't miss our preliminary winter forecast number 2 this Friday, August 30th, 2013. And you'll do us a favor by not missing it by subscribing to this YouTube channel and check out our other YouTube channel if you go on the website. So subscribe to our YouTube channels, visit our website, and like our Facebook, and follow our new Twitter page. We just established it, so please go to it and follow it at US Weather Plus 1. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.